So today our topic is dynamic memory allocation. Before learning dynamic memory allocation, first you have to learn static memory allocation. So to store data, we create variables in our program. This can be done by using data type like int I, character C, float P, etc. In all our previous program, we wrote data type declaration instruction to specify variables to the compiler. Compiler resolve declaration statement at compile time. So if you write int I, then compiler allocates 4 bytes for I variable. If you write float p, compiler allocates 4 bytes for p variable at the time of compilation or compile time. The amount of memory allocated for variables depend upon the information created by compiler at compile time by looking at declaration statement. So for this program, int a means compiler allocates at the time of compilation 4 bytes for a variables. Same for float b, compiler allocates at the time of compilation 4 bytes for b variable. And int x5, so compiler allocates for this array, because it is integer array, 5 into 4, 20 bytes for this integer array at the time of compilation. So compiler resolve declaration statement at the time of compilation or compile time. Static memory allocation. The benefit of static memory allocation is its cost effectiveness in terms of time. Since decision about amount of memory needed for variables are already done at compile time, no extra time would be consumed for this purpose at the time of execution. It means how much memory is needed is already decided at the time of compilation. So, no extra time is consumed for this purpose at the time of run. The major disadvantage of static memory allocation is lack of flexibility in memory consumption. Since the decision regarding amount of memory has already been taken at compile time, no change could be made during runtime. Say, if we declare one integer array of 5 bytes, then one integer array of 5 elements, then it takes 20 bytes in memory and it is decided at the time of compilation. So, we can't change the size of the array or amount of memory allocation at the time of run or at the time of execution. That is the lack of flexibility of static memory allocation. There are scenarios where programmer is not sure about the amount of data to be handled by the program. Static memory allocation is definitely a bad choice in such case. Solution to this problem is dynamic memory allocation. If it is not sure about the amount of data needed at compile time, the static memory allocation is not a good choice. Decision of allocating memory to store data has taken at runtime gives flexibility to the programmer to make program efficient and cost effective in terms of memory consumption. So allocating memory to store data taken at runtime is called dynamic memory allocation. Why dynamic memory allocation? The mechanism by which memory can be allocated to variables during the runtime is called dynamic memory allocation. It allocates the memory during the runtime, which enables us to use as much storage as we want without worrying about any wastage. Say, if we declare an array of 20 elements, so it takes 20 into 4, 80 bytes in memory, and it is decided at the time of compilation. Now, at the time of run, we only store 5 elements there. So, 5 into 4, 20 bytes are consumed. Remaining 60 bytes are total wastage. But if there is a provision to allocate memory at the time of run, then we can allocate as much storage as we want. That's why dynamic memory allocation needed. In C, dynamic memory is allocated using some standard library function. Variables can be created dynamically either using malloc, calloc and realloc functions. So these three standard library functions are used for allocating memory dynamically. Both these functions are predefined in the standard C library. The stdlib.h library has functions responsible for dynamic memory allocation. For using malloc, calloc and realloc function, you have to include stdlib.h. Now, difference between static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. Difference between static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. In case of static memory allocation, memory is allocated while writing the C program. That is, actually user requested memory will be allocated at the time of compilation. In case of dynamic memory allocation, memory is allocated during the execution of the program. That is, at the time of run. In case of static memory allocation, memory size can't be modified while execution. Means at the time of run, we can't modify the size of the memory in case of static memory allocation. But in case of dynamic memory allocation, we can modify the size at the time of execution or at the time of run. The example of static memory allocation is array, and dynamic memory allocation, the example is linked list. So, dynamic memory allocation is done by this predefined function malloc, calloc and realloc. We can also deallocate memory using a predefined function free. There is another predefined function free. The function can release, this free function can release memory that has been allocated previously by either malloc or calloc or realloc. So, by malloc, calloc and realloc, we can allocate the memory at the time of run. These are the predefined function, and the allocated memory can be freed or deallocate by another predefined function. That function is free function. There are subtle differences between static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. In case of static memory allocation, the variable have some name. Means variables have some name. Means if I want to declare integer, then you have to write int x. So variable name is x. But in case of dynamic memory allocation, memory blocks created by malloc, calloc and realloc has no name, but can only be accessed using their address. So, by using malloc, calloc and realloc, when we allocate the memory, that allocated memory has no name, like static memory allocation. But how we can access them? We can access only by the address. So, malloc function. Prototype of malloc function is void star malloc unsigned int. So, see how it's work. In main, if we declare int star p, means p can hold an address of an integer. So, this is our p variable, it can hold address of an integer. Now, if I write p equal to int star malloc 5 into size of means what? Size of int means 4. So, 5 into 4, 20 bytes. So, malloc 20 means malloc allocates at the time of run 20 bytes from memory, and it returns that 20 bytes memory chunk's initial address 1000. See here, if it is 1000 to P. So, I repeat, malloc allocates at the time of run the required memory, and it returns the initial address of the allocated memory to the variable P. Now, here see, here it is called typecasting int star, because by default malloc allocate void star, but P can hold an address of an integer. So, you have to typecast it and make it int star. So, for typecasting you have to write int star. If P allocates float address, then you have to write float star in this way. Now, see these points. First, malloc function allocates memory during execution, so they are known as dynamic memory allocation. The malloc function allocates a block of memory in bytes, so here it is 20 bytes. The malloc function is like a request to the RAM of the system to allocate memory. If the request is granted, it returns a pointer to the first block, means it returns the base address of the allocated byte to P. But it if it is not possible to allocate, means if it fails to allocate memory, then it returns null. If our requested memory is not available, then it returns null. Then the value of p becomes null. This address, the base address is of the allocated byte is collected to an integer pointer p. Int star p equals to int star malloc 5 into size of int. Here 5 into 4 spaces or bytes are allocated. The malloc function reserves a block of memory of specified size, not a byte more, not a byte less. So 5 into 4 spaces are allocated at the time of run, not a byte more, not a byte less. The expression int star is used to typecast the address being returned as the address of an integer rather than a character. So it is an address of an integer. That's why you have to write int star. If it is address of a character, then you have to write cat star in this way. This typecasting is necessary since malloc by default returns a pointer to a void. Now program for malloc function. Say for using malloc, you have to include stdlib.h header file. Now, here we declare one character pointer mem allocation. So, mem allocation can hold an address of a character. So, this is our mem allocation variable. Now, we ask the user how many bytes he or she want to allocate. So, take that byte. Now, you have to allocate required memory dynamically. So, you have to write mem allocation malloc n into size of char. Means what? Malloc allocates at the time of run n into size of char. Size of char means it is 1. So, n into 1 means n bytes at the time of run and returns the allocated bytes starting address to mem allocation. So, say the value of n is set 10. So malloc allocates at the time of run 10 bytes and returns the allocated bytes starting address. This is 1000 to mem allocation. So what is the content of mem allocation? It is 1000. Now if value of mem allocation is null, means allocation is not done. So printf could not be able to allocate requested memory. If there is not enough memory, then it returns null. Else here in this allocated byte we want to store the string good day. So we write string copy mem allocation good day because this location has no name. So how we can access this location? By the address 1000. So where is our 1000 stored? 1000 stored in the variable mem allocation. So through mem allocation we access this location. So here we want to store the string good day. So we write string copy mem allocation good day. So here good day is stored. Now I want to print this string good day. So just write percentage s good day. So percentage s and mem allocation means from 1000 it will print good day, this string good day. Now after that, after printing, I want to deallocate this space. Okay, I want to deallocate this space. So just write free mem allocation. Then this location will be freed. Now this is our program. Now see the code. So this is our character pointer mem allocation. Now how many bytes you want to allocate? It is say 10, user gives 10. Now dynamically it allocates 10 bytes. Okay. Now if mem allocation is null, then could not be able to allocate memory. Otherwise, we want to copy this string good day by using string copy function and then print the content. After that, you have to free the memory, deallocate the memory. So when we run the program, how many bytes we want to allocate? Say it is 10. dynamically allocated memory content is good day. So without using any character array, we can allocate memory dynamically at the time of run. Our next function is calloc. The prototype of calloc function is void star calloc, then within bracket unsigned int. Means what? In main, if I write int star p, means p can hold an address of an integer. So this is p. So this is static memory allocation, and p can hold an address of an integer. Okay. Now if I write p equals to calloc 5, 4. So that means calloc allocates at the time of run 5 sequential block of size 4, and it returns the base address of the starting block or the initial address of the starting block to P. I repeat, calloc allocates at the time of run 5 sequential block of size 4, and it returns the base or starting address of the allocated block to the pointer P. Now, if I want to store 34 and 55 here, means how we can store, how we can access? How we can access this location? By this pointer. Because this location have no name. So, how you can access this point, this location? By this pointer. If I store 34 here, you have to write star p plus 0. P means what? P means 1000. 1000 plus 0 means 1000. Star 1000 means value at 1000. Here you have to store 34. So you have to write 34. Now here star p plus 1, because it is pointer addition. So star p plus 1 means second block address. So second block address means 1004. Here you have to store 55. So here you have to store 55. In this way calloc works. So see this point. First, the calloc function is used for requesting memory space at the time of run for storing derived data types such as arrays and structures. So, calloc mainly used for storing sequential memory for allocating sequential bytes. So, it is mainly used for arrays and structures. While malloc allocates a single block of storage space, calloc allocates multiple block of storage space, each of same size. So difference is malloc allocates single block and calloc allocates multiple block of storage, each of same size. So ptr cast type star means you have to do, here you have to do typecasting. Typecasting is missing here, but you have to write by your own. So here you have to write int star. So cast type star calloc n into element size. Means the statement allocates contiguous space for n blocks, each of size element size bytes. Means it allocates n block, each of size element size block bytes. Means n block means 5 block and each of size is element size is here 4. All bytes are initialized to 0. By default, all bytes are initialized to 0 in case of calloc. Pointer to the first byte of the allocated region is returned. So, first byte of the allocated region, here it is 1000, is returned to the pointer P. If not enough memory is available, it returns null. Same like malloc. Example program for calloc function. For using calloc, you have to include stdlib.h. Now, we declare one pointer variable, character pointer. It is mem allocation. Mem allocation can hold address of a character. So this is mem allocation. Okay. So it holds an address of a character. Now I ask the user how many bytes he or she want to allocate at the time of run. So user gives n bytes. Say the value of n is 10. Now I want to allocate 10 bytes dynamically. Okay, allocate 10 bytes dynamically. So calloc n comma size of character means 1. So calloc allocates n contiguous location of 1 bytes. I repeat, calloc allocates at the time of run n contiguous byte in contiguous location of one byte and returns the base address of the starting location to mem allocation. Now, if mem allocation equals to null means could not be able to allocate memory. If this value is null means it is not possible to allocate this memory. Otherwise, I want to write the string hello to this location here. Here I want to write string hello, but this location has no name. It is dynamically allocated. So how we can access this location? By the address. By the address means what is the address? It is 1000. Where 1000 is stored? It is in mem allocation. So through mem allocation we can access this location. So through mem allocation we have to access. So I write string copy mem allocation hello. So hello is here written. So it is hello. Now after that I want to print. So when I want to print, just give percentages then mem allocation. So mem allocation is the address of the string base address. So it is 1000. So it prints hello. After that you have to free this allocated memory. So you have to write free mem allocation. So in this way you can deallocate the memory and then deallocate the allocated bytes, then get CHE. Now see the code. See here I include stdlib.h and then this is character pointer, how many bytes user want to allocate, say it is 10. Then using calloc at the time of run I allocate n bytes of in contiguous location of 1 bytes and returns the base address to mem allocation. If mem allocation is null, then could not be able to allocate requested memory. Otherwise, string copy mem allocation hello. I copy the string hello and then I print the string and after that deallocate memory by free. Now, when we run the program, see how many bytes user want to allocate, say it is 10. Dynamically allocated memory content is hello. In this way, calloc works at the time of run. Difference between malloc and calloc. In case of malloc, it takes one argument, but in case of calloc, it takes two arguments. In case of malloc, single block is created, but in case of malloc, here array of block is created, means it allocates contiguously same type of blocks. Malloc by default value is garbage, but in case of calloc the default value is 0, means memory blocks which are allocated is initiated by 0. So in case of malloc the syntax is malloc 20 into size of int means here 20 into 4 80 bytes allocated at the time of run and the starting block address or the base address of the allocated byte is stored in ptr. But in case of calloc you have to write calloc 20 comma size of int. So it allocates 20 blocks of each of size 4 bytes. So 80 bytes is allocated and it allocates at the time of run and the starting block or the base address of the allocated byte, starting block address or the base address of the allocated byte is stored in ptr. Now realloc function. The prototype of realloc function is void star realloc, void star then int. Actually realloc function deallocates the old object pointed to by ptr and returns the pointer to a new object that has size specified by size. So realloc function deallocates the old object that was pointed by ptr. Okay, that was pointed by ptr and returns a pointer to a new object specified the size, means the size is specified here. Realloc function modifies the allocated memory size by malloc and calloc functions to new size, means first memory is allocated by malloc or calloc function, but using realloc function, deallocates the old object pointed to by ptr and then returns a pointer to a new object that has the size specified by size. Means the previous object is pointed by ptr and it allocates a new object, and the size of the new object is specified here. It is 8. See here, it is 8, and the allocated new allocated space base address is written to q. If enough space does not exist in memory of current block to extend, new block is allocated for the full size of reallocation. Then copies the existing data to a new block, then frees the old block. In such case, realloc function used. Now the free function. So here in this function fun, I write one pointer variable of type integer. Now this is static memory allocation. So the lifetime of this variable p is till the end of the function, end of this fun function. Now by using malloc, I allocate 2 bytes and return the initial address of the allocated byte to p. By using malloc, at the time of run, I allocate 2 bytes and return the allocated byte initial address to p. Now if I write free p, means by using free p, we just deallocate the space allocated by malloc. But this p variable, the lifetime of p variable is within this function, means after execution of this fun function, when the control returns to main, then this p variable is destroyed. The free function is used to deallocate the previously allocated memory using malloc or calloc functions. So this is your assignment number 8. Try to solve this problem and feel free to ask any question. Try to solve this problem and answer me in the comment section what is the output of this program. Pause your video. Try to solve this problem and answer me in the comment section what is the output of this program. I am waiting for your reply. For getting more and more updates, please subscribe my channel. That's all for today. Thank you.